Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is a very interesting and a well-detailed interview with Professor Okey Ikechukwu. He was so objective in this particular interview. What he said concerning the crisis that is going on in PDP as well as in Labour Party, and as well as what he said about obedient movement and P2OB, like things they're supposed to do before 2027 if truly they want to participate and also take power from Tinubu, so that what happened in 2023 will not repeat itself. He talked about this coalition between P2OB, Atiku, and the Rufai. Like, this is a very interesting interview, which I believe that everyone's supposed to watch, especially obedient movement. Just take a look.
Yeah. Let's have a dig. Southeast Caucus, Anyanwu's reinstatement. A couple of people in the Southeast are saying this is not in our favor. Although the PDP had a good time by speaking to people that oppose them and say their party will implode by saying, oh, peace has come back to stay. Do you think what the PDP declared just on Monday was Pyrrhic victory?
Well, it might turn out to be at the end of the day, but the question of the party imploding, I'll come to it later. It's already imploded long before now. The critical issue on the table is the choice of Anyanwu, and then the submission from the Southeast Caucus that, look, this man is not our candidate. Question number one, is this new in the PDP or in any of the political parties? The answer is no. If you think back to, was it 2019? Yes. Atiku contested for president or for the presidency or for the office of president under the PDP with P2OB as his running mate. The same reaction you're getting now is the reaction you got from the Southeast. If you recall, after Peter was chosen by Atiku, there was a press conference by those who call themselves Southeast stakeholders within the PDP. That group was led by, I think, then Governor Dave Umahi, among other people. On that occasion, they addressed Nigeria that, no, this is not our choice, among other things. But the candidacy or choice of P2OB stood despite that. That reaction was based, I think, on the assumption or the understanding sometime behind the scenes that Ekweremadu was going to be the candidate. And if you recall, the feelers from the PDP was that nobody knew this was coming and that Atiku made the announcement and fled the premises. Peter still contested against, stood. So it is not new. The other point to note is that, yes, you asked about whether it will be a Pyrrhic victory. Remember that 2019 election, Peter got majority vote in the Southeast, but those opposed to him made sure that Buhari got 25% of the votes which he needed in order to win. So it is for them to ask themselves questions. What we're doing now, what will he deliver to us? But more importantly, you may have a party caucus that's also not on ground. The challenge is for Anyanwu to prove that he's the big boy those supporting him think he is. So if he's the big boy, if he has clout, but his brothers and sisters don't want him, let him show that. Let him prove that by the kind of, warehousing he will carry out in the Southeast. So it is not new. It's not unusual. Let's place some facts on principle on the table and then come to the matter of zonal politics. In principle, you cannot challenge a political party for taking a position on any issue at all. But from the matter of building party cohesion and synergy and giving everybody a sense of belonging, it would make sense to say that, look, if you're choosing somebody from my family, I should be the one to say, this is the person I want to represent us in the village square. So I can understand the caucus concern, but take that concern even further back to the time of Obasanjo. All the Senate, most of the Senate presidents chosen when the Southeast had the presidency, were they really candidates of the Southeast? Probably except one. So those are the things to consider. As far as I'm concerned, what's going on in the PDP now is not unusual. As for implosion, the PDP has imploded long ago, and I'll give you the reason for it. If you think of the re-entry of Alhaji Abubakar into the PDP, and he got the ticket, and how many people got annoyed, and how very powerful politicians in the North said, okay, he has got the ticket, let us see how he's going to win the presidency. That party is trying to pretend that he still has an identity. He's trying to pretend that the NEC can actually take binding decisions. He's trying to pretend that he can control his membership when nobody can control Nyesom Wike. So the party, I've said it before and I'll say it again, will take part in the next election. It will participate in the election, but I doubt that it will contest. And what that means is, if you're contesting with me for a gunfight and you come with a catapult, you're participating, you're not contesting, because to contest is to be prepared and equipped to win. The party is not poised to win that election at the level of strategy, at the level of cohesion, at the level of building internal democracy, and at the level of making all the regions feel they belong. The issue in the Southeast, what that will mean is that those who are angry will engage in anti-party activities if there's any election tomorrow morning. Because they will then want to spite Anyanwu. Okay, you say you're the big boy, you've gotten the secretaryship despite our opposition, will not do anything for the party. Those are the challenges and dangers the PDP should contemplate and navigate.
Okay.
At the moment, now that he's taken the decision that he has to be Senator Anyanwu.
Okay, Prof, what does that "we will not do anything for the party" look like in your own assessment? Because there's speculation that it's possible that Governor Mba might be one of the next governors to decamp to the APC. But of course, there's also the emergence of the coalition and how they have adopted the ADC, and they've brought in disgruntled PDP members as well. Where do you see the balls falling? And of course, the fact that we can't ignore the Peter Obi effect as well, and the stronghold that he has in the Southeast. Where do you see the dice falling?
Three factors on the table: the coalition, Peter Mba's possible defection, and Peter Obi's relevance in the Southeast. Beginning with the coalition. You cannot have a coalition of people who are not only disgruntled, but all of them have had very disturbing relationships with each other in the past, have ideological differences, and they are also nearly all of them angling for the position, who will step down for the other. Secondly, all this talk about coalition we are talking about, apart from Abuja, Lagos, and maybe press releases, what efforts are being made at the levels below the national, even the periphery of the national, to create some kind of understanding, some kind of building backwards that, look, let's go to our party members in the state and tell them it's in our interest to do this. They want to form a coalition at the top and with it rule Nigeria. So that is problem number one. Problem number two, look at the relationship between nearly all of them. Remember that El-Rufai has the challenge of the Muslim ticket. Then Babachir is a diehard Christian. Many people think that Atiku Abubakar should step down. Rotimi Amechi is on the table, and some of us are not entirely sure what he's bringing to that table. David Mark is there also, 3-time Senate president with a lot of clout, among other things. Picture a room where all of them are sitting together to form a government for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How will the conversation go? What are the policy issues they will bring up? They are likely to discuss positions. Who will be vice president? Who will be? It's not about development, even though the intention on the table, on the pretext, is development. The concern is to remove the APC government. Supposing, for instance, in doing this, they are telling us this is what we want to put on the table once we get rid of the APC. You see, there will be a basis for conversation. But to sound very angry, to tell us Nigeria, all of us are suffering, we know that, including those who are telling us that we are suffering. What do you intend to do about it? What are the alternative policies? What strategies are in place? The parties in which you are today, are they doing well? Is there internal democracy in those parties? The states where your party is governing today, are they doing well? Are the governors exceptional? When you consider all of these, then that's why I look at the whole coalition talk with a lot of pessimism. For simple reason that whereas it would be wonderful for them to displace the APC, and replace APC by some or whatever name they choose to call the party, the question I ask myself is, are they really preparing to do that? There's a difference between engagement and strategic engagement. You want to deal with the rain and a leaking roof, and you bring only buckets. You're not thinking of replacing the roof. They are not being strategic, and the profile of the individuals involved presents a double-barrel negative challenge for all of them. So that's at the level of at the matter of the coalition. They may pull it off, but I really need to see what they'll do that will be so strategic as to displace a man who put all of them on the table, gave each of them 24 strokes of the cane, despite everything put in place for him, and became president. Now that he's president, he will also now probably be in the balcony drinking, and then you replace him. They should prepare for a fight if they are serious, and I don't see them being sufficiently strategic to do that. But the effect of what I'm saying is that it should then probably annoy them into designing a fantastic strategy for displacing the APC. But as it is now, I don't see that strategy. Peter Mbah's defection is a possibility. I don't know him. I don't know about him. Is it possible to defect? Yes. Could that make people say, oh, this man is not reliable? Yes, they can say that. But I will also ask, is conversion possible? Ideological conversion possible? Yes. Do defections occur in political parties? Yes. Do some of us like it? No. Does it remove the fact that somebody can do it? It doesn't. If you don't want him to defect, give him reasons not to defect. If somebody is going to defect from your party, why is he doing so? What's the problem with your party? Why is he moving? If you can't prevent him, first of all, admit your own shortcomings that are making people vacate your own address. The third point was the P2B factor. Yes. P2B is very popular in the Southeast, not only in the Southeast, but all over the Federation. The Obedient movement is strong and powerful and even growing stronger, but as I keep telling the movement, or whatever it is called, there are no polling booths on the internet. There's no polling booth on Facebook or Instagram. Polling booths are in specific local locations and they have to be manned by party agents. That's fact number one. Fact number two, is the Labour Party or the Obedients or both of them together, are they building any kind of cohesion such that there's a progressive development of ideological purity, group cohesion, meetings and encounters leading to the development of structures at the ground level? I'm not seeing it. Finally, on the P2B factor or matter, Obedients have argued convincingly and correctly that, look, we've proven a lot of people wrong. They say that without structure, you cannot win elections in Nigeria. But without structures, see all the votes we got in Lagos, see all the votes we got in all over the country. Fantastic. But I ask you this. There's an Igbo saying that the person who uses a mouse trap sets a mouse trap in order to catch a chimpanzee. The trap will actually catch the same chimpanzee. But you know the problem? The hunter will neither come home with his trap nor the meat of a chimpanzee. You got all the votes, no question about that. You won Lagos, I believe you. Did those votes come into your pocket? No. Why? If you know the answer to that question, are you doing anything about it? So it's okay to announce that Peter was... Oh, look, they are just wasting the time they need to prepare for the next election in speech-making, in self-adulation, and in what you might call conversations that are not going further down. They are wasting the potential and possibilities of that movement. And also, I'd like to comment briefly, if you recall in the last election, look, Labour Party is correct in saying we know they give shishi. But I'll ask that party to make a distinction between mandatory expenses and discretionary expenses. If you send me to go to the market and buy you groundnut, and give me the money for the groundnut, but no money for transport, you say, oh, I'm a volunteer, I love you, but I may get tired on the way. And the danger is that your enemy may give me a ride, and I'll say, wait, why am I even suffering all of this? They have to recalibrate the conception of I know they give shishi to mean we will not bribe or spend money to subvert the process, but we'll deal with necessary costs for those who will work for us. I've had to run a program. You know, the program was a youth program, and it was even in his state. The youths, we had so many volunteers. I said on the budget, the ushers are going to be paid 5,000 per day. Somebody pointed out that, you know, they are volunteers. I said, fantastic. All of us can pay our bills. These are young boys and girls with no real means of income. What will it cost us? Let them know the value. The reason is that when you pay them for the cost of moving around, you'll be able to separate those who are greedy from those who want to work. But when you force everybody to pretend to be nice, oh, I don't eat. Meanwhile, he's carrying a spoon in his pocket, watching out for any stray plate that nobody is watching so that he grab a few grains. That is the part of the problem of that party and that group and that movement. It is good to be organized. It is even now, there's no narrative anymore. That conversation must migrate the personality of P2B out of conversation into the ideals that a government run by him will represent. That's number one. Number two, they must develop legs on the ground. Number three, and most critically, they must structure their funding clearly and tie it to specific things that enable parties to develop. It's not whenever there's anything to be done, you begin to find out, oh, this person will have to buy the ticket for him, so remove him from the list of those who are traveling. As long as they go on like this, they will also contest in 2027. No, they will participate, but they will not contest. That's in the element of the Obedient movement, Peter himself, and the rest of it. They are not preparing to displace APC because you're talking about a party that used fantastic strategy as opposition, demarketed the PDP comprehensively, demarketed Jonathan comprehensively, sometimes without data, claiming, oh, once we come in, we'll have $1 to $1. Successfully did that. He came to the primaries, contrary to everybody's expectation. Tinubu got the ticket. He came to the election. Oh, so he's a walkover. How can he? He has lost. He won the election, no matter the means. People are still seething with anger about the method, but the truth of the matter is that if you're going to displace or take on such a person, prepare for the fight. If you want to go into boxing or wrestling, prepare for wrestling. Don't go and prepare with wrestling skills for boxing. Then when they defeat you, say, oh, the man was too violent. Are you not the one who said you want to fight? So I think this delusional element of hoping that applause from the people will give you the presidency, it will not. That, oh, I'm nice, it will not help the obedient movement. That movement needs to sober up, impressive as it is. It needs to develop more legs on the ground. It needs to also make sure, that those are some of the points to put on the table in this regard.
Understood. Professor, you've done a wonderful job of painting analogies. I think it would have been an honor to be in classroom with you, just the way you're able to break down issues and give really poignant examples so that everyone can understand the point you're trying to make. Just then, you talked about what the Labour Party needs to do in order to transfer from being popular on social media and, in society to real live votes. But, at the very beginning of your answer to Vimbai's question, you talked about how the coalition really does need a lot of work, that essentially these are people who have so much differences between themselves that it might be difficult for them to put together a strategy if they really are going to unseat the APC. So I would like to ask you what strategy you think that they should adopt in the same way you've listed what the Labour Party should do. What do you think that the coalition should do? And then very quickly about the APC, even though you have touched on it already, what more should they be doing, or do they need to do anything? It does seem as though they are, in some context, perhaps relying on all of these defections as their strategy. Could that be enough to keep them in power in 2027? I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think the coalition should do in terms of strategy and what the APC can or should be doing to reaffirm its strong position it currently has.
First of all, very quickly, the APC issue, the coalition should define its ideological trajectory. We are coming in to replace the APC because of we want to do this and this. That's number one. Number two, this is how we're going to do it, implementation strategies. The kind of candidates we'll want will be this type of candidate, a competent Nigerian, but in order to create balance, the president will come from this place, the vice president will come from this place. Then in terms of spread, we are going to hold meetings. First, each of the coalition parties will meet at the regional level. Begin at the ward level, council level, local government level, state level, regional. Come to the national to announce, yes, we've created an organic engagement. Because when the SDP was reformed again and they did the thing they did in Abuja, the reason it collapsed was because they need to do a drill down. If they do these three things, people will become clear about their narrative and know whether to trust them or not. But to keep coming on air and saying we are doing coalition to remove Tinubu, how do you assume that removing him will give us anything better? And this has nothing to do whether he is there or not. If they like, let them remove him. I'm suffering like everyone else. But the point I'm making is, there was a time in this country Nigerians said, or some prominent Nigerians said, anything but Jonathan. Get rid of him, he's incompetent. Tinubu came on, Buhari came on, and the world, everybody said, good heavens, we're in hell. Buhari has left, Tinubu is here, we are screaming. So the ability to complain is not the issue. Plan a strategic displacement template, apply it, without these clear narratives. You are coalescing for what? You haven't told us. Why, for instance, people are asking, why will certain people be the ones who are standing to contest? And all the individuals mentioned have their challenges. Clear all of that, then you're making sense. Otherwise, this is just entertainment. With all due respect to the persons involved, it will peter out. Now, on what was it? The second point was the
APC.
APC itself. Yes, the APC has no business celebrating the volume of people decamping. Because as they are coming in, you must also be welcoming and warehousing them. This second element is critical. If people are entering into a room, you planned a party for 50 people, now 75 people have turned up. Please make sure everybody coming in, don't leave them standing around. The place will become disrupted. So the possibility of that problem is there, but more importantly, is for the APC to begin to articulate more clearly its policies. The engagement in 2027 is coming a little too early. I think the APC might need to ask some of those excitedly jumping up and down for that, and clearly looking for money to spend, or those who will sponsor them, that it may all backfire. It's coming too early. Focus on your programs. Tell us how it's reaching the grassroots. Do drill down communication. Fortunately, they had the kind of Minister of Information that is believable. They should also sweep away all, there be 10 or 12 other people who say they are communicating either strategy or policy or whatever. Government communication should come from one point. All these people, oh, you know, Tinubu has done this, and they reel off a number of things. You can't hear them well because they are talking about too many things. The dignity of national communication should be retained in the form in which it is, you know, this is what you're being told, it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. So those are some of the things to put on the table.
Okay, Prof. I would like to disagree with you as regards some of your strategies. What you're saying invariably, no, hang on a minute. What you're saying invariably is that we should look at the APC playbook in 2015. They wanted it the most. Let's declare chaos. I don't think it's bad for Peter Obi to say, I am not going to...
Sorry, take that point again. Take that point again.
What you are saying is, APC wants it the most. If you are ready to fight with them, you have to fight dirty. I don't think it's bad for Peter Obi to say, I want virtue. Let me tell you some of the things APC did in 2015 that people now glorify today. The same APC said they will form a parallel government if they don't win. That's an invitation to anarchy. Are you saying all of us should be mad at the same time because we want to win election and throw the country under the bus? With what you are saying, are you saying a good luck Jonathan that said the blood of nobody is worth shedding for this country? Are you saying he too could not have put security out there and destroyed the country and let it be in a chaos society? Let's not endorse evil. If people perpetrate evil, we should condemn them. Yeah, response, sir.
We have a minute left.
Response number one, you don't have to do what APC did if it was bad in order to replace it. If a man is doing something bad, understudy him, plan to remove him without doing exactly what he did. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to find somebody who is fighting dirty, design a template that will make you not to lose to him. That's the point I'm making. Not do what he did. No. In any case, if he's fighting without virtue, fight for virtue. Promote virtue. Indicate the benefits of virtue. Point out that virtuous leadership leads to better citizen welfare and give examples of how it's done. That's what I mean. An alternative narrative that will be an effective strategy without being the strategy of the guy you want to eliminate. That's the point I'm making.
Okay, thank you. We can still debate all of this extensively. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Professor Okey.
So, my people, that is it. I hope you guys had everything Professor Okey Ikechukwu said in this particular interview, which I quite agree with him. But you must not be like Tinubu before you can become the president of Nigeria. Just as Rufai was saying, ask him that question. But him telling Obedient Movement and Peter Obi to change, the way they did their things in 2023. So if truly they want to, participate and also win 2027 election, like taking power from Tinubu, because Tinubu cannot just relax and be drinking wine and then Peter Obi and the Obedient Movement will just come and take power from him. That is going to be very, very difficult now that Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. Okay, that they need to put more effort, which I believe that this is a very good advice, honestly, because like Nigeria election cannot be online, cannot be on Twitter or on Instagram. Like we need to face the reality. Even though that it was obvious that Peter Obi won that 2023 election, but things were really not in order. That is the reason why Tinubu easily manipulated that election, right? So they need to put more effort and get ready if truly they want to participate and also take power from Tinubu come 2027. Because some of us cannot afford to experience what we experienced in 2023, the heartbreak, the pain, and the disappointment. So if truly they want to go for 2027 election, this is time to start planning, to start putting things in order so that what happened in 2023 will not repeat itself. So my people, that is it. As I bring this update to you guys. I hope you truly enjoy watching anyway. Do well to subscribe if you haven't shared the video. Give it a like and also leave your thoughts in the comment section. I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to